Taking what's there seems like a really simple way to conceptualize training. And, you could honestly hear that and think, what the heck does that mean? Well, we really don't have a ton of control over like certain aspects of our training. But when you start to take what's there mindset, you just show up and do your best over and over again. And I think that's a really powerful mental tool in training, because you can't shy away from trying, and you also can acknowledge that some days are going to be better than others, right? And so take what's there is a mantra that I have learned from Mike Teixeira, who is a powerlifting coach. He's a powerlifter. He's a really strong guy. He's the guy who brought rate of perceived exertion into powerlifting, or into lifting. At least the one that I would most attribute its growth is to Mike Teixeira. And the reason to use something like rate of perceived exertion, which is a subjective indicator, is because it basically takes the objective, which is the weight on the bar, and to some extent the percentage-oriented nature of training, and it says, today I am feeling 7 out of 10 good. So if my performance is 7 out of 10 good, then I'm meeting myself where I'm at. I'm trying hard. On days where I feel really good, I should push myself. On days where I feel like crap, I should take what's there and move forward. The trap that a lot of us get into when it comes to training is trying to do too much on days when we don't feel amazing. We should just literally show up and do the program that we have, or do the work on the agenda without really like being mean to ourselves. Because I think this is what really happens a lot of times, is we show up with this plan, and when the plan starts to not go perfectly, or we don't hit like what we want to hit, we get down on ourselves. And the reality of training and life is that there's just going to be a ton of ebbs and flows in the process. So when you learn to take what's there, and this is a practice, it's just like everything else, you start to actually show up and put out what is, your capacity for the day, your capability for that day. And then things get better. What too many people do, and myself included, is we beat ourselves up for poor performances. We get frustrated. We switch up variables that we really shouldn't switch up. We change our program, we change exercises. We think, oh, we're not cut out for this. So we give up in general. And really, if you just show up with this take what's there mentality over and over again, you're going to get better. Because taking an intentional approach to our training in combination with time and getting feedback and making little adjustments will take us to a really awesome place. But too often we don't stick with things long enough to get there, and we let a bad day turn into a bad week, and a bad week turn into a bad month. So start taking what's there. My biggest tip for this is to start to assess how you feel at the beginning of the session, right? Then don't marry yourself to how you feel. If you start warming up and feel okay, then great. Then as you get into the session, just start to see how you feel, and don't be afraid to push or pull back accordingly to how things are going. But the caveat is that you can't just throw in the towel just because you're not feeling it. Giving your effort and intention to the process is what's going to lead to really good things. And then assess like how hard that session was, and then take that data and track more data over time. So start taking what's there in training and make better progress.